I'm RVJ or Rayon, whichever you prefer. Welcome to Popular Union. We've got
Duncan, of course, but I'm first Duncan the Sage. You can call me the Sage or Duncan, but there's two types of Sage. We've got the Sage and a Sage.
right. So, thank you for coming out this evening. Today's event is called Elephant in the Room, and it's a series of. So, I started a series of healthy conversations last year, last September, and it's to speak on conversations or have discussions about things that you generally hear people having conversations about. But within that, it's to talk about the things that within that conversation that doesn't get highlighted. And that's where the idea for the Healthy Conversation series came from. So the first one I did was called Mentally Ignored, which was speaking on the male perspective in society. But again, from a place where being vulnerable is concerned. It was a very interesting segment because, like I said, we spoke on things that necessarily wouldn't be had in public, quote unquote. And we had an expert here that works with in the field of psychology. And she currently works in social care. And she sort of shared some story with us that sort of things that you would see in movies, not necessarily in real life. So that was very interesting to have someone here from that field to highlight a few things that the general public wouldn't necessarily, unless they're directly connected to it. So that was very interesting. And then from that, Duncan and myself had a conversation and we decided to do Elephant in the Room, specifically to deal with identity. And the reason why I was so fascinated or interested in doing this one is because, I'm Jamaican born and I migrated here in 2002 when I was 17 years old. And it was, as you can imagine, a big change. The thing is, throughout my years of living here, whenever the conversation of identity came up, it was more so identity from those who were born here, who sort of had parents from elsewhere. I've never really felt a part of the conversation unless I initiated the conversation or and I would have that conversation with my friends, like Duncan and many others, but in general or in public, that was never a part of the conversation. So I thought it would be interesting to go from that angle.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, of course. I mean, obviously, RVJ and I, we do bounce off each other. Because I'm from a Ghanaian heritage, but it's like, for me, it's like both my parents were actually born from East London. So in a way, I'm like a true East Londoner, you could call it. But obviously, like, I know my roots, I know my culture. So to me, it's like having a conversation with RVJ, talking about someone who's actually not been born in the UK, it was interesting because I never thought in that perspective, like even the way, like the term we use the word hybrid, I realized something, am I British or Ghanaian? But I always say I'm Ghanaian. I don't classify myself as Black British because that's like a label. That's not my label. That's the way I was trying to label me and categorize me in certain ways. So to me, it's like being born in this country is like, we come from a country that's multicultural, but yet at the same time, we have certain barriers that kind of stop us with certain things.
Yeah, so I challenged Duncan in a conversation once when he said he wasn't British, he's Ghanaian. Because I've got two daughters who were born here, and my wife is from St. Lucia. And I remember growing up, they would say, oh, they're Jamaican or they're St. Lucian. And being the person that I am and the way my thought process goes, I'm like, you're British also. And they're like, no, Daddy, I'm not. I'm like, yes, you are. You're an hybrid. You've got three cultures with three different life experiences. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not any of the above, because I know I'm not that good at maths, but British, Jamaican, St. Lucian, that's three different cultures, as opposed to one. There must be something, you know what I mean? There must be an advantage in that. So that's just how I think. And that's the type of thought process I try to instill. But obviously, we know society and the things they hear in society and the things that are being said, so on and so forth. So I think it's more psychological than anything with regards to just the subconscious messages and just the way of life and the interactions. So yeah, I'm very intrigued. I'm very curious to hear what your thought process is on it. So yeah, I challenge Duncan to say that, bro, you've got like 2 different cultures that you have in your arsenal. You know what I mean? Use it to your advantage. And yeah, that conversation led to this. And tonight we've got 2 speakers who will also be performing. So I'm going to allow you to introduce them to the stage. Welcome them.
Let me tell you honest. So the first one is someone I met 2 years ago. Great guy, great energy. Like I literally see him like a brother to me. Like when I first started the scene, he's got good vibes. He's got his own events. He's multi-talented. He does a lot of things. The guy I brought on stage was known as J Cage.
Come on, give it up for J Cage, please, as he makes his way to the stage. Welcome, sir. Have a seat. Have a seat. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you. On the way. Whoa. And yeah.
That's his time.
That's his style. Like I said, with him, he's always a wave. But
And who we got next?
And obviously, you introduce this lovely woman.
You sure?
Yes.
Cool. So, yeah, making waves. See what I did there? She's been making waves on the poetry scene. I think it's not been a year since it's just over a year. Yeah, just over a year. No, my memory serves me correctly. So I met this lady. I saw her perform. I think it was Central London as well, Science Museum. Yeah. Saw her perform. She was coming back to the scene. I was like, oh, right, you've been here before. She's like, yeah, coming back, took a break. And yeah, she's captivating when she performs, is what I will say to describe her. And she's very powerful with the things that she says as well. So, yeah, without going on too much, without any further ado, please welcome to the stage Laurent El Nadeed. Give it up. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And right, so before we get into the questions, before we get into the question that will start the conversation off, I'm going to do a quick performance just to get the mind going a little bit. And then Duncan will take over, ask the questions to the speakers, and then we'll have the conversation. Is that all right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.